All right. Uh, so hi, I have decided to do this post um, Facebook thing. I actually really like social media. I started for social media a very long time ago. I was junior in college, and this thing came called Facebook came up, and I was not a person that was um, comfortable being seen. So I was a lurker, but I felt it. I could understand how what the thing was. You could meet people back in high school, or folks you went to church with, or people around the neighborhood, or whatever. Um, and so I went. I left Florida. I went to the University of Florida. For those of you who do not know me, but I'm not trying to do all of that right now. What I'm trying to say is I'm happy to be here, right? And I would have never done anything like this at some earlier point of time, except I'm kind of living in Greyscale right now. So when I look at you, I'm seeing various shades of black, various shades of white. And in reality, I guess I learned in being in this space that there is no black and no white. It's just shades of it. And I have a thing that's happened. It's developed to the point where I really can't I can't sustain too much exposure to light. And then I realized I couldn't sustain that much exposure to color. And that actually was liberating. I would have thought that was just not going to be it. Oh my God, I can't see color. This is not a good look. I remember one of my psychiatrists said, you're such a colorful personality. You have so much emotions, but it doesn't show in your face. I said, I know. It's not me. It's the meds. Any medical sociologist knows what I'm talking about right now. It's not me. It's my meds. David Karp. So the short answer is I don't know why I can't see color. I can't see color though. My color perception is quite well. It's exact. The blues are the blues, and the reds are the reds, and the greens are the greens. And that's the problem. I see it too well, and it hurts a lot. And it's a kind of pain that I never really understood. I'm used to pain that you can feel, I'm used to pain that makes you sweat, and makes you think like, man, what's going on here, and makes you kind of like want to stretch your hands out and move your neck around and like kind of scratch yourself and kind of feel like you're uncomfortable. And I'm not used to the kind of pain you don't really feel a lot. It just makes you shut down. You just stop. And that's what's been happening for me for a little bit, to the point where I guess you can see it here. I live in the dark. I wish I was being dramatic, but I'm not, unfortunately. I think sometimes you write about, for me, writing has been very therapeutic in my life. And it took me decades. It's decades now. It took me decades to learn that the reason why it was therapeutic was it was a way of grounding myself. It was a way of focusing my energies. And it was a way to move around a lot of the anxiety that I was feeling. So writing has been my savior. I started writing in 7th grade. If I remember, it was the spring of 7th grade. I had decided I kind of just wanted to sit back and figure out what was going to come out, and something came out, and I liked it. It felt authentic, and I didn't really have any strategic way of thinking about why it worked or what made me feel good about it. But I went back to that, and I started to journal very, very consistently, and very authentically. Just no holds bar. I want to write. Well, I learned by the time by the time I about to graduate high school, I was writing all the time. I would write a little notebook side in my Bible, write on receipts. I would write, anywhere I could write. So I decided to start carrying around a pen and a paper all the time. Just always a pen and paper. And that really was my saving grace. I didn't know it at the time that I was going to be a writer, but I knew that writing was something that helped me make sense of things, make sense of myself. And I've always had that. I've had that crutch, if you might want to say. I would have never called it a crutch until right now, but I've always had a pen and a paper as a crutch. And when we decided to go digital, I've always had my little fingers in a typewriter or a keyboard, and I love the little DOS commands. I've always had something that I could use to take whatever is on the inside and pull it out to the other side, which does not include me doing the things that I'm doing right now, which is talking to you. And it's not that I can't talk. I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't that I was a talker. I just talk very fast and people couldn't really understand me. So it was better if I wrote it down. And I remember coming to undergrad, and I'm here and I'm talking about a minute, and my homeboy said, you know what, I see where you're going, but I see what you want to do, and I understand that you're very engaged with the talks. We have these Friday, Wednesday 1.5 hour seminars. Indiana Bloomington sociology, very well known for that. You should write it down. You should write down what you want to say. So I started writing down not just my creative self or my journal self, my authentic writing self, but I started writing down like questions and stuff, about stuff I read and things I heard people talking about, and whether it was like stuff about culture or stuff about health or things about inequality, I would just write it down first. And that worked. That fit for me. It fit my understanding of the fact that I found myself on the stage as a performance artist, spoken word wannabe. I wasn't that bad, but I mean, seriously, I was a wannabe. I found the fact that, I can't actually put together 5 paragraphs pretty well. And I had some really good teachers in high school. And so I found that I could use that same thing called, those 5 paragraphs and come up with some really interesting sets of sentences with maybe a question mark somewhere in there. I learned to find my question marks and come up with a really interesting research question, which I didn't know it was a research question, but by the time I finished saying it, when I was standing upside in these seminar rooms, it was a research question. And I did that I've been doing that ever since. It was 2005. And I always remind myself coming into the academic thing that we're doing, it was told to me, I remember Carrie Ann Rockamore, she's like 15 minutes. All you need is 15 minutes. You need 15 minutes every day. What? You want 15 minutes of writing every day? That's a lot. I'm sorry. I ain't got 15. Actually, I do got 15 minutes. You know what? Let me go sit down and write right now. Well, I got stuff to do. I got papers to write. I know I got to get back to this article. I know I need to finish up this thesis. Best dissertation is a done dissertation. I gave him 15 minutes. 7 days a week, 15 minutes. And sometimes it was 3 hours, and sometimes it was barely 15 minutes. I got my dissertation done on 15 minutes a day. And I might have gotten a job on 15 minutes a day. I might have gotten a job on 15 minutes a day. But I left Bloomington and still understanding the power of writing. And I felt like it was going to be something that would save me, because I actually like to write. Some people in academia don't really like to write. It's difficult to write. It's easy to think, and it's sometimes difficult to think, but to translate, to communicate, that's what we do. You know, we type stuff and we send it out, and we type stuff and we send it out. Sounds like emails eventually. But what kind of gets really problematic, I guess, is I got to the point, like, I don't remember when it was, sometime in February. This is not more than 45 days ago or so, when I couldn't be in a room with light and actually be able to, like, see anything. I have to have my eyes open. Listen to this. Dark room, all the light sources off, eyes open. Now I don't feel pain. And it's interesting for the first couple minutes when it happens. You're thinking, wow, I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. It's cool. I can hear things. I'm not in pain anymore. But you're in the dark. And usually when I'm in the dark and I'm chilling, I'm having a good time, I'm going to sit down, open my phone up, and start to write. It's going to help me center. It's going to help me it's going to help me be more centered. And I would open my phone up. I would try to open my phone up, and my eyes would they couldn't handle the light, yo. And the end of the story is, unfortunately, I don't have an end. What I know is that I'm sensitive to color, very sensitive to color. I can handle white and black. I can handle grayscale. So I'm in grayscale right now. I'm looking at you. I actually see myself in these glasses. They're very nice glasses. I might say that they are nice glasses, but I would prefer to be writing right now. I would prefer to be able to sit down and, like, put it on the paper. But I can't do that, because the one thing you actually need, the one absolute thing you need to do and have to write is you need something to reflect what you're doing. And the minute you see a reflection, you actually didn't see light. So I in my mind, I know there's this time when there's this blank space. And I have my little pen. I have a little Apple pen here. Emery's very, very, very helpful, very accessible. I was able to get an iPad with an Apple pen, and just, like, get up there and go. Because in my mind, the words don't really have a structure like that. I mean, they do. You know, we get on these pages and we're like forced to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And that makes sense. I understand what it means as far as legibility for other people. That, you know, once we take all this stuff that's in here and we put it on a line, okay, now you can understand what I'm saying. And now you can understand what I'm saying. And, you know, if you're a language person, you like to put a period here or a comma there, capitalize some stuff. I mean, if you're like me, I like exclamation points and some smiley faces. But you can see that. You can distinguish where the things begin and end. And if you can't really distinguish the end from the beginning, how do you know you got there? And if you're staring in the dark, if you're in a hotel room that's not your own, by the way, and you're staring and you're in a bathroom, all right, and the doors close and all the light sources have been pushed away because you closed off all the lights in the hotel room, and you put towels. You put towels around the edges of the door so nothing can come in. And the real only source is, like, your watch. And you know what? That hurts too. If you're in that space, it's not that you don't want to write. It's like, how else do you say this? How else do you communicate? How do you know that when it's gone out of your mind, that it's somewhere else? And that's what writing was for me. And so, you know, I guess we're talking now. I don't really like, I mean, I'm okay with talking. It's just, it's uncomfortable. When you write, I'm able to kind of, I'm able to moderate it. I'm able to make sure it says exactly what I want it to say, and it looks exactly how I want it to look. And I'm going to make sure that all the lessons that I've learned about how to communicate are coming into effect. And frankly, maybe that just means that I need to learn how to communicate better orally. But I also think I have to kind of I got to hold on a little bit to the fact that there was a day when I could just go outside and look up and see stuff and like get blinded by light. Like that was a thing that happened. It was an action verb, to be blinded by light. And I don't think I'm being blinded by light. I talked to my neurologist called this morning, and I guess there was some communication among folks. I have a neuro-ophthalmology appointment later on in May. So no one's losing eyesight, but I do think my perception of how I see things, I think it will change. It has to change, unfortunately. I'm like everybody else. I work all the time. I like looking at screens. I like the Instagram and the videos. What concerned me one time is I was told to relax. So I relaxed. And what relaxing meant for me was to get in my bed and turn on the TV. And I'm in the bed turning on the TV, and I'm not going to make it. I'm spiraling out. I'm going to pass out. I don't even know if you can really feel the passing out. It's just a complete shutdown. So now I can't watch TV in my room in the bed sleeping. Like we're in a different place now. So I think that I just wanted to I wanted to check in for myself, really, to kind of ground my own self on kind of where I'm at. I'm hoping that everything is just a stress situation. I'm gonna claim it that it's a stress situation. I'm gonna claim it that it's temporary. I'm going to claim it that it's something that can be managed and adjusted to. But I am concerned. I'm concerned. I was in Publix October 30th, getting the sandwich, getting my favorite Publix sandwich, and just passed out. I thought I was having an asthma attack. Gone. I didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on. I didn't think it was going on. I went back in there like, I got to get these chips. I came here for a reason. I'm going to leave for a reason. And I passed out again. And they dragged me out of there. December 5th, I was like, nah, I was tired. I asthma, no big deal. I'm going to go back in. It was a different Publix. I'm going back in the Publix, get my sandwich, because, there's not many reasons I'm going out right now. And it took a little bit longer that time, but it happened again. Just passed out. And I was with my parents, and I was like, I'm not going to the hospital again. I need to take a break. It's the end of the semester, chill with it, whatever. And I think I was okay. It took me longer to recover. I get very drained and this kind of thing. Very difficult to move, very difficult to, very, very low energy. It's like lifting weights after this stuff. And I think I was okay for a little bit, and then I don't know what it was. End of January hit. I'm in Publix. You're right. I shouldn't go to Publix again, but I'm in Publix. I just want to get one sandwich, and I'm in there for 10 minutes flat before the security guard is dragging me out of there. I cannot breathe. I cannot move. I cannot do anything. And at some point in time, you start to worry about, okay, yeah, are you trying to kill me? I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, but that happened. And unfortunately, since January 30th, about every day, if not multiple times a day, I've had some type of spell, some kind of passing out thing. And it really didn't hurt at all. I never experienced any pain. I just couldn't predict when I would go down. And then I ended up in the emergency room a couple of times. Very, very dramatic things. It's one thing to know you're going to fall out. It's one thing to say, oh my God, I'm about to fall out. It's one thing to just go. That's not something that really, it's just not something that's easily to make. It's not easy to make sense of that. Right. So I after there were two of them in the mid-February, I decided to just go ahead and check into a hotel room near the hospital, and just so I can be in and out of these appointments much quicker. And I've just been going to and from doctors until then. We have at least one, maybe two different eye conditions, but it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago when I actually started to feel pain in my left eye and then in my right eye. And, you know, there was some swelling that happened, and then I just couldn't. I can't take the sun anymore. But I can see black and white. I think it's amazing to think about it from that space of saying I can't see anything that is distinguished between what is and what is not. If I'm watching something move, I'm watching the screen move and it's full of color, it hurts to look at the screen. If I take the color off, it's like none ever happened. Now, unfortunately, I'm still affected by the fact that I was looking at the color, so I'm exhausted. But, you know, a friend of mine told me that I should sit and talk about, I should just reflect on the fact that, you know, I can see color. I just can't, it can't really see me. And what is it? What is it to be in the world? What is it to be in this world? Not world in a meta way or in a world in an abstract way, but in my world. And the only thing that I know completely changes 100% is I can't write. So I'm trying to figure out how to do me without being able to do me. And I know that it's going to be fine in the end of this. I know that I'm going to learn some tools to adjust. But it is difficult. The thing that is working right now is Greyscale, 1, blackout curtains, number 2. I'm not going to be able to keep that up for too long, so I'm going to go number 3. And number 4, I got this fancy new iPad with the little iPen thing, and they have these cool apps where you can just like somewhat do something like that or call writing, and then also, you know, record yourself, or you can record yourself and then it dictates. So at least I see it on the page, right? I can see that it does exist, and I just have to keep it black and white, you know. So thanks for listening, and I hope that y'all have a good night. Take care.